Hey, what's up, everybody? Bdf 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so I'm all set in the room, man. I feel pretty good. Everything was smooth last night. I made a really good playlist yesterday, full of like R&B, soul type music. It was good, really good. Problem was, I made the art for it last night too, and the art did not match the CD in my opinion. Art is subjective, so somebody may look at my art and say, yeah, it matches the CD very well. Me personally, I thought the art for this particular one looked a bit more festive, as if there was like some type of dance music or something like that, and it's not even like that at all. So I think initially when I made the art, when I was starting the process of making art, it started to look as if it was going in the right direction, but by the time I finished it, it had a totally different vibe to the music. So I was a little upset with that, but overall, Bdf 421 is great music, great music. If you like that kind of sound, so I encourage y'all to check that out at Bdf Apple Music. But I don't know, I feel pretty good, man. I feel pretty good. I got a little bit of a headache, but I suppose ain't nothing that some air wouldn't help. I got, of course, do some grocery shopping because I try to make sure that I position myself to run out of food when I know I'm gonna be in a motel. So of course the day of, you know, when I check back into the hotel, it's very important that I go grocery shopping. If not, I don't eat. I won't have anything to eat. So yeah, it's all worked out that way. How you doing, man? All right. So it's all worked out for me to just kind of have a day where I can go out to Hollywood and do my little hill climbing thing if I decide to. Fill up the backpack, that kind of thing. So that's the move. That's what I'm doing right now. Got checked in. Love the room that I'm in right here, the one they just checked me into. Nice little layout, a different layout, one that I haven't seen too many times. Not too far from the entrance as the other one. Yet last time, that was the furthest from the entrance possible. Literally the furthest possible from the entrance of the property. So this allowed me to be much closer to the door and all of that. With my uncle coming in to end it at this week, on Saturday, I should be able to, when he comes pick me up, if he decides to come this route, shouldn't be long for me to come downstairs. So that's really good, just for the convenience of everything. So yeah, everything was good, man. I got myself a burrito last night. This time I remembered not to put the sauce on there, so I didn't have any trouble with my stomach with that. So that was good for me to have enjoyed that way. And what else, man? Listening to the podcast and stuff like that. I haven't really been paying attention to anything too serious. Last night I had a pretty good rest at the motel. I dreamed that my mom was in my dream, as she often is. When I remember dreams, she's usually in them, to be honest. But I don't remember what role she played, other than something along the lines of telling me that she wanted me to eat a certain thing. And it didn't make any sense, but basically she was like, yeah, I want you to eat this. Like, maybe I asked her or something, hey, what should I eat? Did you choose or something like that? And she told me, I want you to eat something, enchilada or something. I don't know. But I went to a restaurant, and a basketball player, Chet Holmgren, was my waiter. And this dude is like 7'2", 7'3", something crazy like that. So the way it was set up was sort of like in Benihana's or something like that, where you go to a restaurant and the waiter not only serves you the food, but they also cook it up and make sure it's mixed right or whatever if you get something. So the way he had it set up, because he was so tall, was he has this, like, you know, the thing that you wheel over when you're at a restaurant. You wheel it over, and you know, you has all the stuff on top of it and ingredients and things. And his was up high because he's tall, but he had it up higher than his height, so he has to reach up to get the ingredients. The thing was up like 8 feet tall. And you know, I'm telling him what I want, and I keep asking for stuff that he's running out of. So I'm like, give me some more onions. He's like, I'm running out of onions, so I gotta go get some. And it was that kind of thing. It was just weird. But essentially what I woke up thinking was, you know, no matter how much someone has, they're never too good to serve, is what the Lord was telling me. Like, Chet Holmgren in real life signed like a $250 million contract last week. But the Lord was essentially saying, and even so, he's still not too good to serve. just like if you ever find yourself in a position of strength or money wise or whatever, you're not too good to serve. You can still serve someone else. And that's kind of what I took from it. Just classism doesn't really matter much to the Lord. He more so, he wants us to be willing to give. And regardless of how we label the person we're giving what to or what have you. But that's kind of what the energy was of the dream. But yeah, man, I woke up on time about 7:30 and got up, had a great shower, since the last shower I had in my other room was not so great. In fact, the last 2 showers were not so great in these rooms. So the motel shower was excellent, so I enjoyed that. Stayed in there a little extra time. And you know, that's pretty much been my morning. Yesterday I didn't make any videos. I went straight to the motel and you know, unloaded and made sure that I was good. From there, I thought we were gonna have Bible study, but we ended up not having it because not everybody was available. But I did talk to my uncle and one of the people on the Bible study as well for about 5 minutes. After that, ordered my food, and if I'm not mistaken, worked on my playlist after that. Or maybe I think I worked on the playlist as soon as I got in there after unloading, then spoke to everybody after the playlist was done. I think that's how I did it. And yeah, everything went well, man. So I decided not to make a video. I usually would, but it just wasn't in me yesterday to really get on here. But I'm here now, man, feeling pretty good. I'm very thankful I got an air conditioner for the next 3 weeks. Don't know what type of weather we're gonna have, but I know it could be potentially very hot, you know, at least in the mid 80s. And so I'm fortunate there that I have that. And you know, now we just live out the week, try to make it a productive week. Last week was very productive for me, so I was very thankful that the Lord gave me a bunch of stuff to do. And this week is preparation for Uncle Thurman coming in on Saturday, and I think he's gonna be here till Wednesday, I believe he said. And so I feel good about that, you know. I feel really good. I'm looking forward to see my uncle. He's done so much for me. Be good to get to spend more time with him. I haven't seen him since, well, January, I believe it was, or the end of December. Yeah, right before the turn of the year. Of course, we buried my grandfather, so it wasn't as... We made the best of it. We enjoyed one another, spent time with one another on Christmas, but it wasn't in a good spirit, you know. We were fresh off mourning. So this would be a much better way for us to spend time. And of course, look for an apartment, although in that short amount of time, I'm not really sure if that's realistic, but I definitely appreciate the opportunity. And you know, we'll give it a shot, see what we can find. We'll see what we can find. And so that's really where I'm at, man. I'm asking the Lord to allow me the ability to have the right mindset going into that, because I don't really like change. I really like stability, and finding an apartment is obviously more stable than what I'm going through. But at the same time, it's like when you get used to something, you're not really ready to move on from it. And I really like where I'm at, even though it's not stable. I've grown accustomed to it, just like I would probably anything else. And so just praying the right prayers to ask the Lord to put me in a position to not miss out on anything that he wants for me to have, you know, holding on to something that maybe it's ran its course. And that's what the prayer is about for me. You know, not staying in any situation for too long or trying to push myself out of a situation too soon. Just, you know, aligning with myself with the timing of God and asking him to make it so that my temperament and my effort aligns with his intentions on my life. And so that's really what it's about, man. Uneasy anxiety, because anything that takes me out of my comfort zone or my routine, or puts me in a position where I'm going to be doing things differently, can always be a bit nerve-wracking for this brain. But you know, at the same time, I know I've accomplished a lot here. I've grown a lot here, you know what I mean? And I was brought into this situation not so happy, you know what I mean? The situation was really nerve-wracking going into this, and now that I've gotten comfortable here, you know, it's one of those situations where you want to make sure that you understand that you can address and adjust to anything. So that's really what my head is, just wanting to address what I got going on, and then from there adjust to whatever changes are coming. Just like I came into the situation with faith, go forward in faith. And if that's the mindset, it's hard to lose. You know, doing things the wrong way is what brings about the wrong energy. Hey, how you doing today?
This is $2.
Oh, no, thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
Jasmine, strawberry, pineapple.
That's right. All right.
And they burned all day, so nothing to lose after the game.
Yes, sir. Take it easy, man. Take it easy, bro. All right. So this is one of those situations where, for me, I'm trying my very best to have my head on straight to say, I've gotten used to this place. I like walking around here doing my thing. I don't know what comes next. Is my next era going to be as good as this one? Do I have control over my life if I move out of this situation into the next one, or am I going to be in more dire situations because of it, of moving on from this situation or whatever? So it's just the uncertainty of what's ahead can always mess with my head. But, you know, this is the struggle of having my head. So you could give me $1 billion and tell me I can choose anywhere I want to live in the world, and I'm going to be anxious about the change. Good change, bad change, indifferent change. It's all going to be an adjustment for my head. And that's just the struggle of myself. And that's exactly what this is. It's a good thing. Obviously, anybody in their right mind in my situation, somebody say, hey man, we're gonna help you get an apartment, the first thing they're gonna think is, praise God, get me out of this hotel. And so what I'm saying is, because I'm aware of that, I'm saying the same thing, even though my head is saying, I'm not really ready to move on. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna miss the people that I like being around over here. I'm gonna miss walking this area and all this type of stuff that ain't got nothing to do with the blessings that maybe the Lord wants to bestow upon my life with a new chapter. I'm not quite ready for this chapter. What if I'm not done with everything that I got to do over here? I really like the access I have to coming to the train station. Am I going to be in a neighborhood where I can get back home as often? Hollywood, that is. Man, what am I going to eat when I get there? Am I still going to have access to the same restaurants? Little stuff like that that ain't got nothing to do with anything real. Nothing to do with anything real as it pertains to the Lord is trying to bring something good into my life. So it's like, to not allow myself to psych myself out of a good thing because of the fear of change, even if that change is good. And so that's really what I'm dealing with. It's left me humble. Humble is what the word would be. Humble to say, yeah, I don't trust my wants. My wants are telling me to reject what is possible in a positive way so that I can stay in a situation that is unstable. That doesn't make any sense. And so humble is to say, I'm always asking the Lord for better wants. I'm always asking the Lord for better scope. I'm always asking the Lord for a better way forward, and just to help me let go of things that I need to let go of, whether I came into those situations positively or like in this situation came into it reluctantly. Let me let go of whatever I need to let go of, and welcome blessings as they need to. How you doing, brother? And so that's really where my head is, man. I just want to ask everybody to, get close to God, pray for others, pray for self, and don't be afraid to welcome good things into your life just because you've gotten used to things that, for better or for worse, you've just now adapted to. It's okay to let go of things. It's okay to not be ready when you do, because believe me, I wasn't ready to leave Lennox. When I left, you guys saw how tough that was leaving Lennox, and the circumstances around leaving that area were very, very, very stressful, extremely stressful, and some of the most difficult stress I'd ever been through, honestly, not knowing what was ahead. And it took a lot of adjusting and a lot of going through thresholds of fear to find myself in a place where I'm comfortable in this situation. Things that I had to do this last night and this morning 2 years ago were terrifying to me, and today I'm reluctant to move on from. Like, that's how quickly the Lord has helped me adapt to some difficulties. And so that's what I'm telling all of y'all. Don't worry too much about the next step, because you can get used to anything. You can literally get used to anything. And so that's what I want to say to y'all, man. And as you leave things and leave people, so too will your next situation bring about new things and new people that you ain't gonna want to leave. You know what I mean? That's real. That's real. In fact, leaving Linux, as reluctant as I was, I'm glad it brought me to this situation, because I've met the people I've met, because I've been able to enjoy the environment I've enjoyed. It took going through that fear and stress threshold to deliver me to a space that I very much have appreciated in my life in this place. Even through the difficulties of being displaced every 3 weeks, I've gotten used to it. It feels like normal. And I think I've become a much closer person with God in this situation, much more disciplined, much more positive in a lot of areas, definitely more proud of myself and how I've been living. And so, you know, you talk about not wanting to leave something and then finding yourself in it and it making you better. That's exactly what this has been for me these last 2 years. And so as I go forward, I'm not really worried too much about that. I leave out of this situation a better human being. And if it continues, I'm not unhappy either, because I'm just fine within it. You know what I mean? And that's the blessing of it all. Is understanding that either way, the way I'm feeling right now, I'm doing pretty good. If the Lord wants to give me something new, I'm sure it'll be good. If the Lord wants to keep me here, I'm comfortable. And that is a blessing in of itself. And so that's really what it is, man. Asking the Lord to deliver me into some comforts that are meant for me. Because if you can find yourself comfortable anywhere, then I'd like the word comfort to be aligned with meant for me, and not necessarily temporary. Comfort aligned with nonsense, you know what I mean? Allowing myself to be in negative spaces like I was at times before getting into this situation. Comfort with weed, comfort with, you know, going in different directions that didn't involve the Lord. I'd like the word comfort to align with I'm where I need to be. I'm where I want to be, need to be, where the Lord meant for me to be, and I could find that stability and comfort in those spaces. So that's what I hope for all of you as well, that you find yourself comfortable in spaces that are actually home for you and meant for you to be there. So yeah, man, that's pretty much where I'll leave this video. I'm sure I got other things to talk about, but I think it's a good way to summarize what it is I'm dealing with, and just understanding that I'm blessed because I have family that wants to help me. I'm blessed because I've got a relationship with God that allows me to be comfortable in spaces like this. I'm also blessed because the Lord is showing me that I can get out of these situations without having to pull teeth, just like it felt like I needed to when I came into it. So I appreciate what God is doing for me, and I look forward to the strength that comes with the next leg of this life of mine. So that's pretty much what I got to say. My name is Bdf 44. Thank you all for watching.